So hello. First off, I'm gonna just say that don't take this video too seriously. It's mostly a meme, but just trying something new to reveal something. So just gonna draw myself. This is me. As you can see, I'm smiling. We are going to be talking about some stuff, mostly revolving around COC, also called Center on Cell. As you can see, this is a perfect representation of Virgil's cave. I'm now drawing Virgil himself, the green fucking ogre Shrek that he is. So most of you know already, if you are inside Virgil's cave and somehow get out of Virgil's cave, what happens? What happens obviously is that you get put on the default center on cell, which is in this case the entrance of Virgil's cave. And if we fall below the space where the playable area is, we get upwarped to the playable area again, the closest playable area, the lowest one. Here we're gonna be doing another example of what center on cell does. Here I'm trying to draw and failing to do so Old North Church. And as you all know, we enter Old North Church through the door and we get a gun, a boom blaster or whatever the kids call it these days. And then we get out of bounds, which puts us at this default center on cell, which in Old North Church's case just happens to be the entrance, past the secret railroad code thing, where we have the redhead, the cyborg, and the detective man. As you can see, she has an emo haircut and a minigun, right? She has a minigun. That looks like a minigun to me. And she has red hair. And we have our detective man, Deacon Man, that's everywhere man. And we get placed right here. So that's this zone's default center on cell. So I hear you ask, why is this relevant at all? What does this have to do with anything? You're just wasting our time and not saying anything of note. Right, so a lot of this will be semi-speculation, because I have never used the creation toolkit dev thing. But this is us, and we're falling. And if we are going to get COC'd somewhere, there should really be, a COC trigger. Sure, we're gonna call it for this. It isn't really COCing what I'm going to try to explain, but you get the point. So that's a COC trigger, and it has a finite size. And just so to demonstrate what it looks like if it's somewhere else, we fall down and pop. We are in the default center on cell. Makes perfect sense, everyone should know this. So the question occurs, what happens if you fall off outside a COC trigger? Do you just keep falling? It would make no sense if you just kept falling. This has been implemented in every Bethesda game and many other games, I think. At least Bethesda games. So if you kept falling, you would get unlimited speed at some point. Like memory overflow speed, and your computer would be very sad. This is a great rendition of a computer, as you can tell. And so that's a no-brainer. So this is where we're gonna start dabbling in some weird theories where is it true that if you fall off or fall out of side of a COC trigger, is it true that you get infinite speed in one direction, or do you wrap to the top of the screen at some point? Is that possible? Is that a thing? I haven't heard of that before. So I hear you asking, where are you going with this? This makes no sense, and you're this actually makes no sense. is it not true what I said about that it's the only like the floors that matter? Or can you actually wrap to the top? I've never seen this. This makes no sense. Maybe there's another explanation. Could it be that there is more going on here? That there's something called COC 2. If this is the normal COC trigger, right? And below that, in the actual floor of the map, there is a COC, like another one, like a failsafe. Or to use green map. This makes no sense. And why is this relevant? This is gonna be useful anywhere, or this amalgamation of ideas is gonna be useful anywhere, then it would have to be a level where we needed to reach somewhere high by falling outside of this COC trigger box that may or may not exist. Where could that be? Is there a place we need to go high to go somewhere? So can you guys tell where this is? The clue should have given it away. This is indeed the elevator in Vault 111. So what does this have to do with COCing under the elevator? That doesn't make sense. If you do that, you get on the first available space and you get softlock here. That doesn't make sense at all. Like, why would you want to softlock yourself? And the screen turning black is really important here, but we'll get to it. And if you fall out of bounds next to the elevator, there's nothing that happens either, because it just takes you to the default COC cell, and the COC trigger here is like by the floor. It's terrible. Right, so that's enough teasing, at least for a little bit. This is Tomato Ines' split after he sets up the punch warp on the cockroach. He does the normal strat. He picks up the cone and clips through. Sure, that's kind of slow, but still. Triggers the elevator, sets up a cover slide, sets up a cover slide again because he's explaining stuff, because he's good. He's a good boy. Waiting for the gate to open. Waiting for the gate to open. Getting inside here, and we have to confirm our thing. And then we go upwards. So this is a representation of what's going on in the elevator. Marked in red is this COC trigger, or not the COC trigger, but the trigger that takes us to the surface. It's not one of those fade out ones. That is connected to the platform. So if we only could reach that trigger, we would instantly leave. But if we go here to the center, we get stuck, like I said, right? So COCing below that shouldn't do anything. And now for the part that you've all been waiting so graciously for. This is the strat, and then we'll explain it afterwards. So if you didn't understand, this is the room. That is the elevator, right? It goes all the way up, and then marked here in, I guess, green, or I guess another color, who cares, red, right? That is the trigger we need to reach. And marked here in, I guess, blue is the COC trigger, and it actually extends, not less a book, it extends like that. If we could get outside of that somehow, and there was a way, as you could see, right? we went on the side on like a 1 pixel thing and jumped past this thing in our way, landing there, and then jumping from that spot on this 1 pixel thing all the way around the trigger, all the way around, underneath the trigger, and then falling below, and then falling for enough time that COC2 takes effect. Then we actually get placed inside of the trigger. If that is due to screen wrapping, the platform being the first available space, or whatever have you, I do not know. It sure as fuck works though.